We got a doozy. I am so excited. I am. I kind of can't hold in my excitement right now. And I'm gonna try really hard to convey it to you guys in a, without just going ah. We got a build. If nothing is nerfed, of course, and Ball Lightning of Static is definitely, it's no penance brand, but it's at that tier where a lot of people are looking at it. We know it's really good. The setup that we have, it feels really good. If you don't know where we're going with this right now, please watch the last couple of videos. It's it goes through the whole journey. You want to see the story of how I'm coming up with this build, but doing league start testing, and we're kind of honing things in, trying to, we're starting off very, very wide, trying to figure out what skill we want to use, what ascendancy, etc. And we honed it down yesterday to self-cast mana stacking Ball Lightning of Static Hierophant. And the big thing that we're doing here is we're doing self-cast, and we're doing a very defensive mana stacking setup. And yesterday it felt really, really good after spending a number of divines into it, doing like a moderate budget type of thing, just seeing if it was a build that I thought was worth investing into. And today what we did on stream is we stripped it way, way down. And we'll put some of that footage on the screen right now. And so we went all the way down to a 5-link and then a 4-link. We dropped the Ivory Tower. We put in a Cloak of Defiance. We recrafted really, really like off the ground rares, like nothing rares. We went to like 1 to 5 chaos uniques where we could fit them in. We're talking Rainbow Stride. We're talking Dream Fragments. We're talking Pure Talent Unique Jewel. We're taking the cheapest stuff that we can get in the game, and it still felt really good. Like, it actually felt kind of better the way that I built it going into non-crit with Cloak of Defiance than what I was doing as a crit setup with the Ivory Tower. The really neat thing that I'm revisiting that I used to do in the past, but I haven't done in a long time also, is doing a hybrid low life ES and life setup. So the kind of weird thing that we're doing here is we're keeping 50% of our life pool. We're only reserving just enough to keep us at about 50% exactly. And we still have a buffer of life behind our energy shield that will then allow us to live with a Cloak of Defiance without worrying too much about the chaos damage kind of bypassing it. We can use the energy shield mastery for 30% of chaos damage doesn't bypass ES. And then the built-in mind over matter, as well as the 10% additional mind over matter for Hierophant, will get some value as well. So we get this nice little setup that is really focused on extremely low budget. There's a little bit of a world where the Cloak of Defiance can become a little bit expensive on League Start, and it's a very common item that likely can't get particularly expensive on League Start. So I'm not too worried about that. Ivory Tower is a little bit less common, I believe. So leaning on the Cloak of Defiance instead of the Ivory Tower is actually a really efficient play for a League Start scenario. The other thing that we did is we tried at 5 and then even down to a 4-link setup. And yeah, hopefully the gameplay that you're seeing on the screen right now is enough to show that this is a viable build. Oh my god, this damage. Wait, hold on. All right, I just want to show you the build in game here real quick. So in terms of what I'm wearing, I have a Mind Spiral. I bought this for 1 Alchemy. I have a mid-roll Xerius Foible. I bought this for 5 Chaos. We have a Cloak of Defiance on a 4-link, which is worth 10 Chaos right now. We have a Dream Fragments and Rainbow Stride. This is my ring. This is my belt. This is my gloves. This is my weapon. I hit it in 2 essences. And this is my shield. Nothing crazy. I just hit the bases with 2 essences, and that's what I'm using. We're just going for intelligence, mana, and energy shield. Those are our primary roles. We want to go for that on all of our items, as well as cap out our res. And that's it. That's all you have to go for. A little bit of life doesn't hurt, but because we are doing a hybrid low life setup, as you can see, we actually reserve half of our life. So we have this kind of like 2/3, 1/3 kind of dichotomy right here, because we're also using Mind Over Matter, which really buffers our incoming damage a little bit more, and it gives us a lot more EHP. So yeah, that's all I'm wearing right there. And then we have a bottom rolled Healthy Mind. I have a Nothing Jewel. We actually don't even need that jewel at all. It was just there for some dexterity. And then the cool thing here is we're using Pure Talent, which one of our community members, Viper, actually recommended this. This is a really good idea. So what you want to do is actually connect to the starting location of other classes, and you get the benefit for connecting to that. So for this, we are connected to Witch, Templar, and Scion. And that gives us 25 all attributes for Scion, 5% Ellie Pen for Templar, and 0.5 mana regen per second on the Witch. And that just ends up, 0.5 mana against 8,600 base mana pool. That's also then scaled by increased mana regeneration. Actually ends up being quite a bit. And this is just a 5 chaos jewel. Very, very easy. It's just like whatever. It's not mandatory for the build, but really cool thing to just throw in the build for 5 chaos. And it feels really good. With this setup, it's not like giga damage or anything, but it's solid damage. We are currently at, in this setup, 1.9 million DPS wearing this gear. And it feels like it. It's really, really solid. This is on a 4-link. And then if we go up to 6-link, we're at 3.7 million DPS on a basically shoestring budget. That's really, really good. You can see we have great EHP. If I turn off my Arcane Cloak, we still have very, very solid EHP and defense. So yeah, we got an absolute banger of a build. I am incredibly excited, incredibly encouraged by this. When you're going through this whole process, hopefully in the last couple of videos, you saw how much work and for me, it's very stressful because I want to find the best build guide, the best league starter that I can find. And, if I don't have it, it's okay to fall back on old reliables. And I'm always trying to find the next exciting build for me that I want to share with you guys. And, and we can all have fun together playing the same build. And at the very least, I always want to learn a lot more about the game and new builds and try new things. And this is actually my first real go at mana stacking. I've played around with it, with totems in the past. But for self-cast mana stacking, this was my first time really doing it. And it's really, really good. I do think, there's people playing an SSF totem version. But I think the self-cast version here feels really, really nice, particularly if you want to scale it up much higher in a couple of ways by, focusing more on cooldown recovery rate. I think it has a little bit more of a simple, logical play style that might actually feel a little bit more defensive for people as well, because we can lean on Mind Over Matter, and we also get Energy Shield Leech as well. That feels really good. We can get Ghost Reaver and Energy Shield Leech, and that feels really good defensively. It's very, very encouraging. I am so excited. I think that this has the potential to be on the tier for me for comfort and fun and scaling on the tier of my Frostpunk Ignite Elementalist, which is for me my favorite league starter that I've made. And this is kind of this one's pretty special. So I'm really excited. So tomorrow, what we're going to do on stream is we're going to make a new character from level 1. We're going to start leveling it up, figuring out, okay, this is what we get for our first Ascendancy. These are the skills that we use from Act 1, 2, and 3. Well, it's going to be Rolling Magma. That's not a question. But here are the inflection points where, hey, maybe we go mana stacking Stormbrand in Act 5. I don't know. We're going to try all these type of things. And we're going to try to figure out the right way to level the character in a way that feels great. And I'm actually going to reach out to our collaborator that we always work with for leveling guides, Havoc616. I'm going to reach out to him and see if he has any ideas, any recommendations, and kind of go from there. If this isn't nerfed, I genuinely think this is going to be a godlike league starter. The one big downside is getting Ball Lightning of Static. It is a transfigured gem. You will have to sit there and farm for it or try to save up and buy it. A lot of people are looking at Ball Lightning of Static, so that could get a little expensive if you just try to buy it outright from people. But it is something that is self-farmable. You could get trapped in lab for a few hours. That could feel really bad on League Start. Any League Starter that comes with Transfigured Gems comes with that caveat. But besides that, I think, once you hit maps with your Ball Lightning of Static, you grab your Cloak of Defiance, your Azir's Foible, you are cruising to red maps. And it, yeah, I don't know what else to say. It feels incredible. So yeah, thanks for joining me on this journey so far, guys, this soul searching and everything. I was so excited to make this video and share the findings today with you guys because we have to test it at a low budget. And that's always the big question mark hanging in the air. And we're talking shoestring budget. This thing still feels exceptional. You can't really poke any holes in that. And it feels awesome. So we're going to keep this journey going. You get to see the whole process from day one right until the day before the league, how much work goes into it, and learn everything and see as I learn things in real time. But yeah, that's it for me. We're going to get this video out, and I'm going to, I don't know, take an Overwatch break or something, shut my brain off for a couple hours. Okay, see you guys tomorrow. Goodbye.